Or yes, making sure that the umpires are making this right call. And
maybe we can get her over here and see what the whole hoopla was about.
Yeah, we just talked to her, I think. Oh, no, we didn't.
Yeah, we met her earlier, and as the sports director, it's not just this tournament. She has the softball tournament that she has to work also. I mean, it's a busy, busy, busy day.
Yeah, Ramstein has to choose which event they want to go to. But, I mean, what luck, right? I mean, oh, what am I going to do? Go out to the ballpark?
Well, this whole week, I mean, you had the soccer championships over here, boys and girls. You got track down there by Wiesbaden and Rüsselsheim.
Yeah, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's great. It's like pick your poison, pardon the pun.
And if you're in the Ramstein area and you need something to do and you're hungry, there's a snack bar right behind us. So come out and say hi.
And it's actually, it's been wonderful smelling those burgers and the hot dogs that they've been cooking all day. The grill's been going all weekend. It's been wonderful. It really has.
And good luck getting a parking spot for the food court this week. You got teams from all over coming in here.
And it's kind of just a reminder of where we are right now as we are at the Ramstein Air Base, and you see the planes coming in and out. It's to kind of remind you that you're on a military base, especially when you got the national anthem coming on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon like we had to stop the game for yesterday. That's just something you don't experience when you're in the States.
No, not at all. I mean, this is the third time that they've had it here. As far as I know, I think they're going to have it again. And Eric, I know you're a history buff. Did you know that the first tournament was actually held in Mannheim?
I did not know that.
Yeah, of course that can't happen anymore because they're about to close BFV, where it's on, Benjamin Franklin Village, excuse me.
Well, you could always cut the lock. And I mean, I'm not that I'm promoting vandalism or anything.
But
yeah, once again, just want to thank Vice Media, AFN Europe, and IMCOM for making this happen, because this is definitely a wonderful opportunity for the families back in the States to watch some of their players play, and even downrange. And there's some players that actually have families downrange right now who are able to watch this game. I think that we have someone in Kosovo.
That would be Burke's dad, Ryan Burke's father, Randy Burke. He's out there in Kosovo, and that's just some of the sacrifices that these players and these families and these service members have to go through, is they have to deploy sometime. And for Randy, Mr. Burke has been deployed 4 times. So, I mean, something big like this, if he's out there in Kosovo, Randy, we wish you the best of luck. Come back safe. Hope you enjoy your son playing baseball.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. I mean, having done this for football now, basketball, wrestling, cheerleading, AFN has been able to really provide that service to the DoDDS family members back, in the States, back here, back in Afghanistan, Iraq. I mean, all over the world, thanks to being able to be streamed on afneurope.net.
I mean, internet, TV, radio.
Technology is great, yeah.
Folks, if you have an iPad, you need to make that happen too.
I can't afford one yet, I don't have the big salary like you do.
Yes, it's true. I'm overpaid.
That's number 18, Andrew Maneni, put it on a gun show over there at first base.
I was hoping it would rain so they could do the little tarp slides and everything.
Yeah, I'll look at the fans waving around the track. That's another thing. We're right on the track, and people are just running right by, watching the game. It's pretty funny. We had a couple runners almost run us over earlier as we were trying to conduct interviews with some of the players and coaches.
That's what you were talking about, though, military installation. It's just a big community. You've got people caring about their athletics, their health, their activity, because it's part of their job. Airplanes flying over. It's a good time.
I think that home run Darius Billups hit in the D2, D3 semifinal almost hit a C-130 as it was leaving the field.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and have Karen Seedor after this to see what exactly happened with all this.
Yeah, you hate to have these long delays, but at the same time, you want to make sure the call is right. You do not want to take it out or give it out to another team and the call be wrong, because that's something that can, be protested later on. And this is make sure you get the call right. Yeah, we don't want to wait around forever. We want to watch some baseball. But let's not steal anything from these kids who are out there playing their best.
So, Adam, as a baseball fan, how do you feel with instant replay. Good thing, bad thing?
Wait a minute. Okay, first, let's just make this clear. He's an Angels fan. Okay, I don't know if you want to call them baseball fans.
Right, 2002 World Series champion Angels. But,
Lord.
yeah, you know, I think that in limited
You can't do balls
use,
and strikes.
obviously, you can do balls and strikes, but in limited use, out safe. I mean, how about that play at first base we were talking about earlier with Galarraga for the Detroit Tigers losing a perfect game because of that bad call?
Yep.
If that could have been saved, I think that is a perfect case where instant replay needed to be used.
So you just have a camera down the third base line, the first base line. That would help tremendously.
Well, they've implemented it with home runs now, right?
Home runs are right now, I believe, the only thing that can be instant replayed. I think, you know, once you start doing, you know, maybe you can do it like football where you give them one.
Or a challenge. Because you don't want to slow down the pace of the game either.
Baseball is already a very slow-paced game.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those ones that would not benefit from having that instant replay so much of it.
As you see Van Perry's out there with Rodriguez, yeah, you can just see that these guys are all friends. You know, yesterday when Heidelberg and Patch played and Heidelberg was eliminated from the championship game, all that they were doing when they came out after the game and they were giving each other high fives, they were giving each other hugs. And after they crossed each other, they just stood around in a group and started talking. It was the most unique thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know if you can't get a shot of C.J. Kellogg, that magnificent beard again, but I believe it's grown 2 centimeters since this conference started.
Yeah, so the umpire's still talking this over, and of course we're going to find out exactly what happened when we come back.
Where are we going?
I don't know where we're going. when we come back to the game.
Follow the yellow
Excuse me, when the sports director comes back, because yeah, we're just kind of hanging out right now.
You would think LeBee would throw 1 or 2. He'd be getting cold. It's been about 15 minutes.
Well, maybe he wants to save his arm. Oh, now they're bringing them over to the coach to explain to them what rule they decided they were going to go with.
Deal or no deal?
Can't really listen in. They're only about 10 feet from us, but I still can't hear them.
We need a parabolic microphone. Well, maybe that's a blessing and a curse.
So you're watching AFN Europe's coverage of the 2012 DoDDS High School Baseball Championship game between the 2-time defending champion Patch Panthers and the Ramstein Royals. It is a 7-2 game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and this decision here, potentially a big decision, because Patch can really open up this game right now.
And especially with little time remaining. You hate to say that during baseball. The old adage, you know, we didn't lose, we just ran out of time.
I can't wait to hear what the call is going to be on this situation.
Maybe it's one of those great calls like in football when the guy goes, he was giving him the business. It was a personal foul call.
So was the batter out?
No, this is football.
But would he be out? What do you think?
Oh,
What do you think's going to happen here?
I think eventually they're going to call him out.
I don't think they can call a batter out.
Well, it's
throwing the bat,
potentially dangerous, right?
Well, and that's why they're doing the rules clarification.
But they didn't give a warning or anything like that.
Well, it's all dependent. I honestly, I don't know the rule, and I mean, the umpires are looking it up right now. So, you know, it's one of those ones that we all think we know the rule. You know, we all think we know something.
You make the call.
But until you actually see it in writing.
You ever serve in the forward area? Ever been in an infantry unit?
Please don't continue with that quote.
Okay.
I don't think it's.
Just hit us up on Facebook, and we'll reenact movies for you.
Well, actually, why don't we check? What do we got on Facebook? Is there anything going on right now? There's a lot of activity.
Well, we'll go ahead and check as soon as this internet keeps working.
Yeah, it's surprising how little internet we get out here on the baseball field.
With all the money you make, you can't get 3G.
This is. Are you hurting financially? Why do you keep bringing this up? Are you hungry? Would you like a hot dog?
Well, gotta watch my girlish figure.
So umpire's still talking this over. This is a heck of a break.
So Joe Mazzara says, shout out to my Royals. I played with y'all last year and lost. I'll win with you from Derby, Kansas this year. And David Novak says, shout out to Caleb Garrido and the rest of the Ramstein Royals. I'm watching you guys from Tucson, Arizona at 3:40 a.m. Take back the title, boys.
That's dedication.
It really is. And to answer the question, no, Miss Powers, softball is not going to be on after this, unfortunately. So hit us up on Facebook if you want to send a shout out to one of your players.
And now's a great time because it seems like we have a nice break to talk, to send those shout outs.
To talk about movie quotes and then reenact them.
Yeah.
If you have a movie you want to see us reenact, go ahead and put it on Facebook.
Just a bit outside. What to clarify for who was the young lady that said about softball?
There was somebody asking if softball's going to be on.
Unfortunately, there's only one live satellite truck, so I mean, AFN's trying to get to everything. I saw it in the paper. Some people were a little disgruntled about it, but it's gone in the past 3 years, as you were saying earlier, Adam, that you've had more sports. AFN's covering even more, so I mean, you can't really knock them for that. When I was in the Marine Corps, I went to Okinawa, the first deployment. We had 3 FN channels. I mean, now what do we got? 12, something like that. So things are getting better. It's progressing. So bear with everybody.
Yeah, it's a progression, and it was just kind of unfortunate there. I mean, they're happening the same weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, AFN would love to cover everything, and it's done a great job. And I've had an opportunity to work with at AFN for almost 10 years, and have really watched the progression of this. I mean, we weren't even doing football 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They just started 3 years ago. And, of course, high school football is the biggest sport there is. And even that has progressed from a few thousand hits on the internet to over 10,000 for the championship game this year. So, I mean, that's amazing. 10,000 unique hits.
And how many downloads? I mean, I'm guessing a lot more as well.
I'm sure.
You got to figure everybody at the game.
Right, and that doesn't even include what was aired. I mean, how many people were watching on the Pentagon channel? Up to 3 million, potential viewers. So a lot of people are getting a chance to watch their sons and daughters do things, that they would never have had an opportunity to do just 4 years ago. So it's a progression, and it's been nice to see.
Well, I when I'm flipping through ESPN and they got the live Little League World Series on from Nebraska, I know that I always stop and I'll watch like a good half hour, 60 minutes. So I got nothing to do with that, of course. I just like to watch baseball. So, you got other guys out here that I'm sure would just be flipping through the channels or in the States, and baseball enthusiasts like to watch baseball.
Pat's playing a little game of pepper out here.
And Anne-Marie Yu, shout out to Jack Smith, who's actually the batter. You got this, Jack. Let's go, Patch. That was from Anne-Marie Yu.
Well, I wonder what she thinks. Is he out? We're safe. I think I know the answer.
Anne-Marie Yu will take your decision and feed it to the umps.
A friend of the court. Maybe we can.
So all the patch players trying to stay warm, so is everyone just kind of hanging out. If I'm I'm just looking at the base runners now. They're all just kind of hanging out at their base, all lonely out there.
Yeah.
I think they're wishing, why do we got to sit on the bases? Can't we come hang out with the team too?
It's like in football. Your helmet's not a chair.
When the coach barked at him, though, they turned right around.
Yeah, they did. Well, if the guy that hit the other guy, if they can get along, then why can't everybody else? They're just sitting there at the plate, just talking it up.
Well, these guys have been playing forever, though. It's been 4 years. They faced each other every single time, and I asked the Ramstein squad, I asked them if they went ahead and had one guy that's been around. But unfortunately, with the military community, you can't keep people that long. But they don't have one player on the Ramstein squad that played as a freshman in the 2009 championship.
I think Garrido's been here 3.
Yeah, 3 years. Garrido has, and a handful of other players have. And it's almost like it's just a big, huge baseball community. Going back.
I got to get out of here. The camera's coming. All right.
All right, so right now we have Miss Karen Seedor spending some time with us, and she's going to explain to us exactly what happened. Miss Seedor?
From what I can understand from the umpire, we had a batter who was given 2 warnings because he swung and made contact with the catcher.
On the backswing.
Yes.
Okay.
And because he had 2 warnings, which is what the umpire has said, he just did this now for a 3rd time, and so he is ejected from the game.
So the player is not just out, but he's ejected from the game.
Right, correct. So he is now going to be in the dugout. Now they can replace that player.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not like in other sports where you cannot put another player on the field like in soccer.
Okay.
So they can replace that player, but the batter will be out.
Was this left to interpretation, or does it clearly state in the rule book, he was warned, he's got to go?
Yes.
Okay.
It's considered a minor offense. It's not like, maybe someone using, foul language or something like that on the
Right.
field, a non-sportsmanlike conduct issue. But again, he was given a warning. It's a minor offense, and he is still ejected. Now the question is, from the Patch team, whether or not the batter should be out. And so Patch is playing the game under protest at this time. And the coaches said that he may withdraw the protest at the end of the game.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Ms.
All right.
Seedor, for the
You're quite
explanation.
welcome.
So that's a big loss there for the Patch Panthers, because that's their catcher, Jack Smith, who he is batting .625 coming into this tournament. So it's a big loss. Catcher is one of those positions that you're just not going to replace very easily. So right now, it is the top of the 5th inning. It is 7-2 in favor of the Patch Panthers over the Ramstein Royals, but with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Excuse me, that's the end of the inning. I'm sorry. Yeah, that would have been the case if Jack Smith was still up to bat. No, so going into the bottom of the 5th inning, it is 7-2 in favor of the Patch Panthers, the 2-time defending champions.
So we had a couple other Facebook shout-outs. Ryan Burke's dad, who's actually watching the game in Kosovo, posted on Facebook. Shout out to Ryan Burke and the Ramstein Royals. Best of luck today from Ryan's dad deployed in Kosovo. And we had another shout out to Caleb Garrido, and we have a request to do Seinfeld quotes.
A request to do Seinfeld quotes.
A request to do Seinfeld quotes, apparently.
I've never watched one episode of Seinfeld.
Well, I just know that since Jack Smith is ejected, there will be no soup for him.
Okay.
I was going to bring my puffy shirt.
So number 15, Justin Pendergrass, will step into the box against Dylan Mazzels, who's still out pitching for the Patch Panthers. Pendergrass coming into this game batting .548. He's the center fielder, a fast player, and he will lead off the inning, the bottom of the 5th. For the Royals, looks at a ball high for 1 ball, no strikes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it looks as though we have a Santi Jackson on deck, and that he'll replace Riley Moore. Another high pitch there, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Jackson replaced when they did that flip-flop with Garrido. He's out there and left right now. But it's really going to be interesting the way Mazzels comes back after not throwing forever. And this may be the disruption that Ramstein needs.
This might be, and there's swing and a miss by Pendergrass. 2 balls and a strike now. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-2 in favor of the Patch Panthers over the Ramstein Royals here in beautiful Ramstein, Germany. Mazzels deals a high pitch, but Pendergrass goes fishing for it and swings and misses. 2-2 now, the count. So Mazzels looks into the catcher, number 7, Ruben Rodriguez, for the sign. Deals, and once again gets Pendergrass looking silly, and a little bit of a celebration there by number 20, Dylan Mazzels, with the strikeout. So a big strikeout to start off the inning here. And number 18, Santi Jackson, steps into the box, and he gets ready for the Mazzels pitch. And he looks at a breaking ball for a strike with the delayed call there by the umpire. 0-1 now with 1 out. Rodriguez now catching for Jack Smith. And Ruben Rodriguez, we saw him catch yesterday, an excellent catcher. Has a great arm and really able to keep that ball in front of him. There's a ball for a 1-1 count now on Santi Jackson. So you don't lose a whole lot by putting Ruben Rodriguez back there instead of Jack Smith. High and outside for ball 2. 2-1 now on Santi Jackson. Mazells gets ready to deal. And the pitch. Steve Wright called. 2-2 now with 1 out here on Jackson. So it turns out that this is going to be the last inning of the game because the game is actually timed out. So Ramstein has to do something. Jackson hits it back to the first baseman, Andrew Minetti. That is 2 outs now.
They're down to their final out.
So down to their final out. So after all that, the game is actually timed out. But the game must have been called to time before that happened. We were already must have been
we were up.
to that
We
point.
were up against it. Like a new inning cannot start with less than 10 minutes remaining on the clock. So, and it's unfortunate. I'd love to see this go 7.
And I just talked to Miss Cedar, and she did explain that they'd stop the time.
Right.
They did. Yeah, they did stop the time. So
That's what we were just talking about. The game had been going long at that point anyway, so we
Right.
knew we were right up against it. So even with that long 20-minute disruption, that doesn't really play into this. So with 2 outs now, Caleb Garrido steps into the plate, and he will take a high ball. And really the game, not so much riding on his shoulders. He can't look at this as pressure because they need to score 5 runs. Just take this one at bat at a time. So 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch, and that is a ball a little outside. 1 ball, 2 balls and a strike.
After the game, 60 minutes everywhere except on the West Coast.
So the 2-0 pitch coming from Mazells and taken right over the plate for a strike. And Garrido, he knew it as he shook his head. Yeah, absolutely, that was a good pitch. So 2 balls and a strike now on Garrido. Mazells deals. And high. Garrido was able to hold up on that swing. 3 balls and a strike.
Big cut.
Big cut there by Garrido. 3 balls, 2 strikes, making the count full with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning at a 7-2 game. The time has elapsed, so they need to have a big 2-out rally here. And here comes the full count pitch, and it is popped straight up into the air. And number 8, Sean Rittenhouse number 6, Austin LeMay makes the catch, and the Patch Panthers are your 2012 Division I baseball championships, the 3rd time in a row that they will take home the crown, and they are celebrating on the pitcher's mound right now, and an excellent job. They were the best team, no doubt about it, in this tournament. And one thing I can say about these 2 teams is they both gave it all they had the entire tournament. These were the 2 best teams in Division I, and we got to see it actually play out to see who was the best.
yeah, you basically chalked up your whole all-European team with these players that were out on this field right now. So you had Dodge 1, Division I, best players out there, and it was a great game.
Yeah, an absolute great game. And if you look at what Patch did, they scored all 7 of those runs in one game. And here it is, the final out again, as it's popped up into the air. And there's LeMay, Austin LeMay, the shortstop, making the catch to end the game. And the Stuttgart Patch Panthers are your Division I baseball championships. So proud of those guys. It's just great to see kids out there having a good time and taking home the championship after playing so hard all season long.
And you see him walking by here, and of course Ramstein's got to be frustrated, but Patch played a heck of a game. And all these guys, they know each other, they're giving each other hugs. There's nothing really to be ashamed of here. It's an experience in itself. So they're going to start the celebration. The family's about to mob the field.
Yeah, the families are excited. And, as we know, walking around the past couple of days in our AFN shirts, people were so excited we were out here, and they were excited to be out here, and they were so proud of their kids, their boys. It's just been a great atmosphere for baseball all weekend long. And this isn't the end of it, because there's still another game right after this, the Division II, Division III DoDDS baseball championship between Bitburg and Shape, which is going to be another excellent game. And we've watched both those teams play.
Yeah, and Bitburg can crush the ball.
And Bitburg, just like their football team, which won the Division II championship the past few seasons, their baseball team, very excellent. A lot of great players, and a lot of those guys played on the football team too. So there's going to be another great game after this one.
Yeah, so stick around, folks. I think we're going to go ahead and continue streaming.
We are going to continue streaming. But I want to thank everyone for joining us, for Adam Shaw.